till I don't know what to say. Life a game, do you play or getting played? Then me wako, but she mine for the day. For the day. Like give me chill, usita fudeu assim. You pull up on me, nigga, I'ma catch a case. Too many say one night.
Hi guys, welcome to Spitz Creativz. I'm your host Jesse Munene. Today we're at Mezani Tavern on Hamis Quebec, and I'm here and I'm joined with an amazingly talented artist. I won't say musician, an artist. He does fashion, he does music as well. He has one mixtape and one project that he had dropped. Comeback season in 2020 and hits tape in 2021. He's a hot artist. He's the one who started the wave over here for me personally in Kenyan music. But yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for coming.
For sure. Appreciate you, my bro. Appreciate you. For sure,
and,
bro.
Like, for those who don't know who Prxnce is, man, you can just give a brief introduction to who Prxnce is.
For sure, my bro. I go by the name of Prxnce. I'm an artist, not a rapper. Born and raised in Nairobi. 22 years old this year in May, so I'm still 21 right now. And yeah, I make music and I'm here to grow and help everyone elevate. Simple.
Yeah. I was listening to your music today, and I've been listening to your music for a while, ever since SoundCloud was telling you with Temp Sound and all of that.
Yeah.
But like, what I really wanted to find out is like, where did this love for the art start? Yeah, like where did this start?
That's a good question. Like honestly, since I was a youngin', man, I've been into music for sure. Since I was like 7, 8 there, I was rapping Lil Wayne things, bro, you know, my Amelie things. So I used to memorize Lil Wayne a lot. Young Money, Drake guys, Nicki. So I always had that connection to music. But then I think I was 14. That's when I like really started like writing. Like I decided, all right, let me try write this raps, and that's when I kind of fell in love with the art. So yeah, when I was 14.
Yeah. That's crazy. So you started like rapping in a studio. When was the first time you actually went into a studio and like with that confidence that you had? Because I was talking to him and I was mentioning to him like how I feel like for our generation, I'm gonna speak on my generation, the 2000 niggas. But like I feel like you're the one who started the confidence of like making music, you put it out there. But like, when did you start? Like when did you get into a studio for the first time with your bars ready? Had a beat ready, you know, when did it all start? Like when did you start rapping?
So the first time I was in the booth when I was going to record a song was like in 2016. That was like, because I started when I was 14. 2016 I was 16. So as soon as I finished my year 11, like in around May that I finished year 11, I came home and I already had raps. Yeah. So I just hit up my boy Temp Sound. Shout out Temp Sound.
Yeah, shout out
I see you, my bro. So yeah, I told him, yo, I need some beats. He sent me a pack. I wrote to like all the beats, and then I picked the best one. My guitar teacher from my school, he mentioned that he had a studio. So I hit him up. I was like, yo, I'm done with school. Yo, can I pull up? And he was like, yeah, for sure. I pulled up. I recorded my first song like midway, like the first take I just did, the lights went. Because this studio is like in Wandani, Kahawa, Skari ends, bro, yeah. So I wouldn't say that was a conflict because I was like very nervous the first time I was in there, but you could even hear in the takes that it was my first take ever. Like the lights went and he told me they're not coming back soon, so just go home. So that's literally my first experience.
Yeah.
My first take is all I had to listen to, like after I left the studio, and it wasn't that good, but
at least it was a start.
Yeah, but I posted it still on SoundCloud. I posted it, but I deleted it after because like a few years back. But like that was my first time.
Would you call yourself a SoundCloud rapper?
I mean, you see, there's like a whole definition behind SoundCloud rappers. Having colored hair, tattoos, and like mumbling, and that's the definition. But like in terms of like technically, yes, I started off on SoundCloud. Then I think that's a lot of artists actually start off on SoundCloud. So yeah, definitely, I'd say I started off as a SoundCloud rapper, but my sound really wasn't like that similar to SoundCloud rappers. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I think the platform itself, I love SoundCloud to this day. So the platform itself, I would definitely love. I have love for the app. I think it brought so much talent together. Like it was crazy. So yeah, definitely I'd say SoundCloud I definitely rap it as a SoundCloud rapper. Yeah, definitely.
Talking about coming back to your relationship with Tem Sound, because I was like listening to your songs with him, and like how you're also experimental with Kali beats. Like how can you talk about the experience, like also working with Tem Sound, and then also your influence with Kali music? Because like I was like, yo, bro, you know you can actually rap on a Kali beat.
Yeah.
So like how your influences as well, and also your experience working with Tem Sound.
Yeah, so my boy Tem Sound, that's my bro still to this day. Me and him, we go way back. We go like back in 2012, around that time. There was like this hype around EDM. So I think that was like the first time I actually tried making music was with EDM. Yeah, so there was this whole wave back then of guys being DJs and doing EDM, and like he was like someone I used to see on Facebook. Like he'd drop a EDM song on SoundCloud and it'd be crazy, like a house song, and I'd be like, this guy's crazy. So like one random day, like I just told him like, yo man, I'm thinking about rapping, like can you make me beats? He was like, alright, I'm down. And that's the first time really me and him got into like a working relationship of like making music together. So definitely that's been if it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd be where I am right now. So he was the first person to like give me a chance with beats and like really help me grow my sound and like give me that, you know, because he knew I like the emotional types raps, and like he was also like very good in understanding those types of, because he's musically talented, like his ears are just, he's an amazing producer. I think he's one of the best producers in Kenya, even though right now he's Tem Sound is the guy, bro. I'm telling you. Like even on I still have beats from him from like back in 2018. They were so good back then. Like I couldn't approach them artistically. Like I couldn't hear anything of what I could do to make this better. Like, and to this day, I'm still listening to beats from back in 2018, and this is now when I'm like, alright, I think I can approach this beat in this way. Like literally years later. So definitely he's a front runner in the production game. He's just taking a bit of a step back, but when he comes back, it's gonna be different. Yeah. So.
And also, I've seen also way back you're working with the name Michael Carpenter. Shout out to Michael Carpenter.
Yeah.
And like you're working with him, and like also what's your relationship with Michael right now? And like also like I've seen you dropped an album. How did you perceive it as well? But like how did you guys link up, and how did you guys start working together as well?
Yeah. So first of all, shout out Carpenter, Kappa like Metro Boomin. So yeah, me and Carpenter go way back as well, man. We go way back to high school. We were in the same high school. I was in Mount Kenya, he was in Mount Kenya. He was just a year below me. But that was the first time me and him met and like kind of knew each other. And then after high school, like clearing school, he was talking to Tem Sound already about beats, because like producers usually talk and link up and like do collabs on beats and shit. So like he showed me, like I didn't know he made beats like after high school, because we weren't like boys or anything. Like I just knew of him, like I saw him here and there. And then so Tem Sound sent me like, yo, this guy is crazy, he's a youngin, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, these is hard beats. So like we even made a group where it's just me, Tem and Carpenter, like just share beats and like songs together. So even him was like way back. So definitely even he contributed to like my success, because his beats is also crazy, and his album, it's a good body of work. Like it was done amazingly. So yeah, even his album, it's up there.
How can you talk about like now also about your growth from your SoundCloud days, from the times where you just dropping singles to now to a point now where you actually took a break and you actually noticed and you put the name of your EP as Comeback Season, bro. How's that feeling also to come back, and also the growth like from all the singles to now coming to Comeback Season now, just talking about this album. That experience of also taking a break from music.
Yeah, I feel you. It's like I think it's like a much needed thing, because you know when you break out to the scene, like when you're not just on SoundCloud anymore, like when you get a bigger audience, and you know people believe in you, and they're rooting for you to like get something done. The pressure is like, there's a sort of pressure that like you don't expect, but then like it kind of gradually like builds inside of you, because you're like, I have to do better than my last song. I have to, you know, drop another banger. Like there's this mentality of like, yo, banger today, banger care show, banger the day after. Like and that's definitely a good mentality to have. Like you want to do perfect music all the time, but like realistically, yes, it's impossible. You can't make it something perfect each time you do something, you know. So like the pressure and like these expectations you kind of put on yourself, it's like it starts to haunt you. Like even when you go to the studio, you're only thinking about like, I have to make a good song. Like you don't really have fun with it anymore. Like it's not as, and you know when you're having fun and kind of being free with it is when like you're in the pocket and you're making like good shit. So like the step back and like the kind of break I took it was much needed. Like I built my mental health. Like, you know, like you know, if you're in a better place, you make better music. So I definitely feel like it was necessary, and I'm glad I did it. Yeah.
How do you feel like also, do you have to be in a mindset also when you're making music? Like was there a certain mindset also taking a break from like the music, and you said you had to get into a mental space making this album as well? So is there, like, do you have to get a certain type of feel when you're making an album, when you know you're about to drop an album, when you're making music? Because you also emphasize about your sound and how you want your sound to come out of.
Yeah, definitely, but I'll just correct you, it's a mixtape.
Mixtape.
So you'll even see in one of my songs, Trust, I said, any mixtape would I see album. And I stamped that because it's like, I really want people to understand, like, yo, this is not an album, like this is a mixtape. Like I just mixed different things together and just made songs, and I put them together like in an orderly fashion. But when I decide to make an album, like guys will know it's an album. Like that, you see, I usually take gradual steps. Like I started singles, then I went to an EP, then I went to a mixtape, then I'm eventually gonna go to an album. So it's definitely like it's something you have to like be. For me personally, I'm a perfectionist, man. Like honestly, it's a blessing and a curse. So I have to like be fully like ready for me to do something. So like that's why I did singles for so long, and then I did for an EP. Like I never want to like do something unless I know like I'm ready for this, you know. So that's kind of the mindset I had to be in. Like I had to be ready. I knew, okay, now I'm ready for like a big body of work of like 13 songs, you know, 10 plus songs, because that's a lot of songs. And I'm not about to make skips, man. Like that's just me personally. I'm not about to make a lullaby track list for babies to go and preach, because a lot of people be, guys are dropping projects, man, are playing that shit. I'm thinking, bruv, who cleared this, man? Like who allowed you to drop this, man? You guys are not your homies if they told you this shit was hard. But so for me, I just have to be very ready, and I don't lie to myself. Like me, if something sounds bad, I'll just say, yeah, this not it, bro. Yeah. So my mentality is always on some. I'm never lying to myself. I always analyze, and I always have to be ready before I do something. I'm not gonna do something half-hearted. Even like features and that, like there's a lot of features I was supposed to be on, but like I just didn't like how it sounded. Yeah. So like I just said, don't put me on that. Like just do what you're gonna do with it, but don't put me on that. So that's my mentality basically.
How do you feel like how the reaction was to like comeback season after that long wait, and how we waited for you, but waited patiently and you did deliver? But like, how do you feel like people reacted to the EP?
Yeah.
But the EP, how do you feel like people reacted to it?
So comeback season, I feel like the reception was fairly good for a 6-track project, and like it wasn't all the same sounds. So I feel like, you know, as an artist, like when you make one specific song and guys really like it, guys just want you to make that type of music, and like that's okay if that's what you're into. Like if you want to make just that, just focus on that, cool. But for me personally, it's like it's always a risk when you're having too much going on, like too many different styles going on in one project. So but I never really thought of it like that. I just wanted to show people like I'm good at what I do, and I want to do different things. Like so, like don't expect just one sound from me. So I feel like it was received very well, especially with the atmosphere at the time. Like I hadn't dropped in a while. Like before that, it was just singles, like here and there, and also there was no Swahili in my music back then, and that's become like a very big thing now. Like if your shit is just English right now, it's like very hard for you to break out. because of like people are now getting more in tune with the Swahili and like kind of mixing it up, which is a good thing, definitely. So I was, and it was in the charts on Apple Music, so like definitely I couldn't complain, and I wasn't even in the country when it dropped, so I couldn't do like proper promo. So I feel like the reception was fairly good. Like I'm not disappointed with any of the reception I received for that tape.
From that tape.
Yeah.
Now coming on to Hitstape, and you mentioned, bro, it's a mixtape. It's not an album.
In a mixtape, Buddha see album. Yeah.
But I like the way, because I like the way you talked about like you're very experimental also with your sound.
Yeah.
You showed people that like the way people put you in a box like, nah, this nigga can only rap in English.
Yeah. Exactly.
You did, and like it was your own flow. Like what I like about artists, like you have your own originality.
Yeah.
Like your art can be the same compared to
Yeah.
So also like how was that experience making Hitstape and then also experimenting now with the Swahili, putting in some Swahili, and you did it well. Now you can see you can
appreciate it, yeah.
But like how was that experience also making that tape?
Yo, so Hitstape, man, like it was crazy because it was such a different atmosphere, man, because when I just came back from the UK in like early June or late May or something. So I came back, like literally I came back to, let's say I got back today at like 10 a.m. Like I literally was in the studio that same day. Like I got home, I went to the studio. So like I had been writing, because since I dropped in like November 2020 for comeback season, I was already in the UK by that time when I was dropping. So I was just watching everything from like a different continent. Like, you know, it's different when you're in Kenya than when you're outside. So like, you're just watching the scene kind of like do its thing, and like, you're not really there to like witness it.
Yeah.
So I feel like definitely that gave me a sort of a morale. It gave me like a drive and like, yo, so guys are like really into Swahili stuff now, yeah. And so like that's when I started experimenting on my Instagram with like thrillers. I was playing around with the SWAT thing, and guys were messing with it. So I was like, alright, I think guys now should really know that I'm actually Kenyan, because I get that question a lot. Like, are you Kenyan? Like you don't look like you can talk Swahili or something. I'm like, yo, how do people who talk Swahili look like? Because I want to know.
Yeah.
Because you can't really tell me people look a certain way, they can talk Swahili, you know. So I had like this, it wasn't like a point to prove kind of, because I'm like, yo, guys don't believe I'm Kenyan. Alright, so that's kind of what I was thinking. That's how the mindset I was in for the language perspective. But then in terms of experimenting like the different sounds and like just putting things together, it was more of like just being in the studio with my boy Kobe. Shout out Kobe Worldwide. Top 5 producers in Kenya. Don't at me, bro. That's a fact. So being with him and like really making the beats from scratch, and like me telling him what I want, and like we play around with things, and like we come up with like something so incredible at the end. It was like, this time it was really, every time I was going to the studio was a hit. Like I was just pumping those type of songs out, like and there's still so much more no one's heard of. Like I recorded over like 40 songs for the Hitstape, and I had to pick 13. In fact, I was supposed to pick 10, but like there was so like I had to squeeze in a bit more, because like I really liked them.
Yeah.
So it was an amazing experience, man. Like honestly, I feel like I really enjoyed the whole process. Like I've grown as an artist because of that. Like definitely, I loved every bit of it.
I can actually
Definitely,
see that,
man.
Yeah. How do you feel like also, you know, this guy directed, if you guys don't know, he directed the video for Nairobi.
Yeah.
And that was such an amazing piece of work. But like you've also shown how you can also experiment, and then also you can also mention with the fashion as well.
Yeah.
That just builds you as an artistic mind.
Definitely.
Where do you get it from? Where do you think you get it from?
Honestly, man, I don't know, man. I don't know, cause maybe from my genetics, man. I don't know, but my mom, she be dripping, bro. So I think maybe the fashion is cause she's my mom. So like, my mom, like if I dress funny, she'll roast me. She'll tell me like, what are you doing, bro? So that's been me from when I was a kid. So yeah, so like in terms of drip, man, like that was instilled in me from when I was young. Even the video for Nairobi, like the jeans that was split, I designed that. Like it was kind of, I like playing around like that. So I think I just get it from my personality, honestly. I like when I hear something, I appreciate it. Like if I hear a good artist, I appreciate it. But then like my brain just by itself just starts thinking like, I want to make something like that, but not exactly like that's just how my brain works. So yeah, so like if I like something, I'll listen to it, I'll go download it, and I don't like gatekeep artists, so like I don't like try hide what I listen to. Like me, when I like something, I really like listen to it, and I think that's what really helps me like really grow my sound and like really understand things. And even with fashion, like I experiment. If something looks bad, I just don't wear it, but like I'll experiment and I'll still try.
Before you had mentioned to me about your influences, like how you listen to Brazilian music and and how you incorporate all of that, and also do you take things like from fashion and also apply them onto music? Like what are you inspired by? What do you listen to like now? Like what is Prxnce listening to before like he gets onto a project to get inspired, and like what type of sounds do you listen to?
Yeah, so in terms of, it really depends on what headspace I'm in. So like before I make a project, I really try and understand where I'm at right now. Like how am I feeling? There's like you don't feel the same. Like you don't feel the same you felt like last year at this time. You're not the same person you are in March 2021. So like I really pay attention to my atmosphere, like how I'm feeling, and also like in terms of music, there's different things that appeal to me. And me, I always have Shazam on go. Like I even hear, if I hear something, let's pull out a Shazam. I'm not going to ask anyone. Let's pull out Shazam.
So you can get to know like
what's this? So I definitely have my ears out all the time. Like anywhere in public, I'll be listening to stuff, and I'll ask, if I don't have my Shazam, I'll be like, what song is it? Do you know what song this is? So in terms of like getting into this headspace, it's like just you have to. I listen to my emotions. I listen to how I'm feeling. What I listen to, it's like it's so broad. Honestly, I listen to old stuff. I listen to new stuff. I listen to Sade. I listen to Elton John. Like even when I'm watching movies, like I'll really listen to the soundtracks and like Shazam something I really like on a song or on a movie, or if it's just a specific part, I'll rewind and I'll record it on my voice notes, and then I'll really listen to it, and I'll go to the studio and I'll try it out. So like that's just that's how I kind of prepare for stuff and listen to stuff. Yeah.
Also, another artist that I noticed that you have a good relationship, BT. I feel like also your group as well, all you guys supported each other also with like music.
Definitely.
Yeah. But how did you guys link up also, and like also you guys have worked numerous times together?
Yeah, definitely. Beatty, or shout out Beatty. That's my slime. That's my day one. That's actually one of my closest friends. So like, we linked up. It was crazy how we linked up. Like the first time me and Beatty linked, it was actually at a party. The first time like we met in person was at a party. And I was faded, man. I was chanting, man. I was out, man. I was done up. So like, it was a funny night, you could say. So then, that's how we kind of like got introduced to each other. And then like I dropped to her, and then I dropped Dark Red Beamer, and then like she was also really like into music, and she's been also like writing for a while. So like, and like you said, like I was one of the people who really started it for our generation. So she saw this and she was like, she hit me up. She was like, I'm really trying to like, I do this music thing. Like also like, I'm really trying to like, could you help me out with the videos, and like, how did you get like, all that. So that's how we kind of got introduced to each other. Like, and we got close because of the music, because she makes music, I make music. And her first video, what is it, FaceTime, I hit up my boy Taro, who shot Dark Red Beamer. I just told him, we're gonna be at this show, pull up, get some clips. That's how we kind of started off. So when I kind of gave her those links for the videos and all those things, that's when she also started dropping, and it kind of picked up for her as well. So like, that's how our connection was established, just because of I showed love, she showed love, and we just clicked like that. Yeah.
I feel like that's what most artists should do, man.
Definitely.
The last question I wanted to ask, man, I've really enjoyed this interview.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Why should people pay attention and listen to Prxnce, man? Why do you think people should?
Why? I mean, really, that's up to the person. But really, all I can say is from my side is I keep it a buck. I keep it real, 100 all the time. I say what I mean and I mean what I say. I own rap cap. Most of the shit I'm rapping is real rap, bro. So end of the day, I'm trying to grow the industry. I'm trying to make timeless music. Like a lot of the industry right now is saturated with like it's like mediocre stuff, man. Like like Gengeton is hard still, man. It's just like, you know, when you go and you leave the country and like place like UK, like guys take, like you can have debates about your country, right? So like guys, if you're a Kenyan in outside and you talk about music like from Kenyans, like guys will look at you like you're tapped, bro. And not even like people from like Africans, they'll be like, Kenya, like you guys are, you're advanced, you're doing good in your country and all that, but like your music, don't talk about music. Like, and I feel like we have the talent, definitely. We just have to like, I really want to help mold the standard. Like this, I think we should really have a standard of how good something sounds, because guys are just dropping to drop, and like I guess that's cool, man. But I feel like why people should listen to me is like, you know, I'm really trying to like change the scene. I'm really trying to like up the standard and really up what people are making, because we can definitely do way better than we're doing right now. You know, we need some front runners, not just like 3 people who are at the top, who've been at the top for years, and like no one else is breaking out to that top, you know. So I feel like I really want to up the standard and really take the bar really up, and then that's really all I'm about. I just care about the music. So if you care about music and you love good music and timeless music, I feel like that you should give my music a chance. You know, if you feel like there's something I could do better, definitely reach out to me and tell me like, yo, I fuck with this, you know, but you can do this better. And like, I'm always open to criticism. Like even guys who hate, like I kind of listen to it, and maybe is there some truth to that hate? If there is, I'll study and I'll analyze. If there isn't, I'll, you know, just let it go.
Thanks for coming.
For sure, bro. No worries,
For
man.
those who want to check out Prxnce's music, his name is actually, spelling it like on SoundCloud, it's PRXNCE.
Yeah.
He's on SoundCloud, he's on Spotify, he's on Apple Music.
Yeah.
Go stream his album,
Mixtape.
Go stream his mixtape, Hitstape, and go stream also his EP, Comeback Season 9. Thanks for coming.
No worries, my bro.
Kama ni udosi king wa moshi energy shoku. That is your Wi-Fi. Connect with her ass and dip like so. I'm gone. You cannot shit on my dick, baby. So wait, bigger to poses. Oh no, yeah. Kalamuni so.